What's up, guys? It's your main man, Katama Sensei here. And I got my homeboy.
Oh, this is me, Zach Stevens. How's it going?
All right, today the first thing we're going to talk about is the small devil fruit. So the one thing I want to talk about is the similarities between the small devil fruit and Nekamamushi Master Cat Viper's coat. They look exactly the same. So I'm thinking that Caesar Clown, Vegapunk, all those scientists, they got together and they wanted to give people the powers to create an artificial devil fruit. And the medium between the animal and the human was a mink. So that's how they got the lineage factors and the DNA and everything, because I would think human and minks have more in common than just the animal that the minks represent. So that's how they got their how they created the artificial devil fruit. So what do you think?
I think it would explain a lot of things, like how smiles have different animals. You'd have to have like a large sample of different types of animals, different types of zooid animals for the smiles. Otherwise, it'd just all be the same, right?
Yeah.
So if they did it from, say, the first sample that they did, or say if they took the power from a different devil fruit, all the smiles would have the same ability. Yep. But if you're taking it from multiple minks, it starts to make a little bit more sense. Pretty much a huge stretch just from the coat pattern being the same as a smile, but it would be a Oda kind of thing to do to foreshadow that.
Foreshadow God. But yeah, so another thing I want to talk about was if you look at a small fruit and an actual devil fruit, the devil fruit's entire appearance changes when it gets the devil fruit soul, I guess you can call it. When a fruit gets the devil fruit soul, it totally changes the appearance, but a smile only changes it on the outside, or only changes a part of the appearance. So that's another thing I want to talk about, because a gifter can only change like a body part, not the entire body.
I think a better point to bring up is that gifters tend to always have some kind of appendage or some kind of animal-like trait at all times. Most zone fruits that we see, they look completely human until they transform. Gifters always have a portion of the animal with them. So that's probably another piece of evidence to support your theory there, that it came from minks, because it could be their DNA is literally mixed with that mink.
So do you think that they can have different or separate DNA on there, like different types of minks of small fruits in one person?
Are you saying like multiple small fruits for one person?
Multiple minks, multiple different minks, like a wolf and a lion, two different small fruits in one person.
No, I don't think so, because it just makes it too much more complicated than that. Like, you can't just mix all kinds of different DNA together and you end up looking like a chimera, just something ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, I do it like.
Yeah, 1 second. Little pause on the broadcast here.
Yeah, all right. It's another person putting my shit up on, man. Making moves out here. But yeah, I don't know what else. What else you got to say about the small fruit?
Smiles. I would just like to see more about them. Like, do they have the same weaknesses as devil fruits? Yes. How does Kairoseki stone interact with it? I think is a really good point to make up, because Kairoseki is like the main thing that like the Marines use against devil fruit users. Is Kairoseki stone. Can Kairoseki even affect small fruit users?
That's true, because they're not entirely a devil fruit user. What if it affects them, but not to the same effect of a devil fruit user? Like, it's not as much of a weakness.
Well, I think if what you're talking about with the minks is true, then it wouldn't affect them at all.
That's true.
So that would be another thing to look out for. Is if sea stone doesn't affect smile fruit users, then you may be even more right with your prediction on the mink tribe being the the guinea pigs, so to speak, on making smile fruit.
Yeah, and also you bring up a good point of why does the devil fruit make a person not able to swim? Why can they no longer float? That's one thing that nobody ever talks about. Like, why is it that once you eat a devil fruit, no matter what your power is, no matter what type of slogia, paramecia, or zone, you're gonna sink like a rock? Why?
I don't think that's going to be explained until Dr. Vegapunk comes in.
Yo, I can't wait for the
I
next
think
episode.
everything is going to, like, everything about devil fruits is going to be thoroughly explained as soon as Vegapunk comes in.
As soon as he comes through,
It's just going to be so much knowledge jump. It's going to be one of those big hype reveal moments that Oda likes to do. And it's been kept from us for so long, and I cannot wait for Vegapunk.
It has to be hype. I'm waiting too, because that information is, it's going to be a letdown if we don't get even half of our questions answered. Because, well, I mean, not necessarily half, but like, if we don't get enough explanations for stuff, because everybody wants like total information to us, but wouldn't that just be boring though? Like, we just get, this is how everything works, this is how this, and this works. It's just going to be like,
yeah, just like kind of like a half-assed explanation after this amount of time would kind of suck. But I don't think it would ruin the whole story. I don't think it would ruin the whole story if it never got explained. Just because One Piece is so awesome, but
he's gonna have some type of quirk. He has to have something. Just every person in One Piece, no matter who they are, they have something that's like.
At the very least, he'll be able to explain Smile.
Yeah, hopefully he's not gonna be like a, hey, how did you create Smile? Oh, I forgot how I did it.
When do you think Vegapunk will be introduced or actually be revealed?
Gonna have to be near the end, because that's gonna be where a lot of questions are gonna be answered. I don't think you're gonna answer questions like near the middle. It's gonna be closer to the end of everything, so they can find out more about the true history of the world and whatever.
I'm kind of hoping it's gonna be at Wano or after Wano.
I hope it's not gonna be the Wano hype, man. I'm hyped for Wano too, but man, people just putting way too much into it. Like, all the Yonko gonna fight at Wano. It's gonna be the biggest battle.
I do think it's going to be the biggest war. I think there is going to be a massive war because Kaido's going to get what he wants. Every villain always gets what they want, get what they want, and then have it all taken away from them.
Yeah, I agree, but there's also going to be, people think that this is going to be the last war, but there's going to be one more war after that. So just watch Marineford again, and Whitebeard was like, there's going to be a great war, and you're not going to win. Or unless you do think it's talking about Wano as being a great war. I think it's talking about the end game.
No, there's going to be a much bigger war than Wano.
That's exactly what I thought.
There's going to be probably at least 3 that have been hinted at.
Yeah.
You know, the Marineford was hinted at, it came true. And then Wano, with Kaido wanting to cause this great big war, I don't think he'll get to do exactly that, but it is going to be, you know,
it's going to be bigger.
It's going to be bigger than Dressrosa, the war in Dressrosa. Because that was definitely a war. It was a civil war.
They said it's going to be bigger than Marineford. He said it. Editor said it. But what can make it bigger than Marineford? What was Marineford? It was the government versus one Yonko. So what can be bigger than that? 2 Yonkos coming in this three-way battle.
It could be
multiple countries.
It could be, since we've never seen it before, and we've never heard if they were actually defeated by Blackbeard, that the Revolutionary Army has a hand in liberating Wano.
But Wano doesn't want to be liberated. They like to be. I mean, we don't know how many people are into the open border policy or closed border policy, though.
We don't know, but that kind of sounds like something the revolutionaries might have a hand in.
Yeah. Would he think that they could, because it's a whole country with entirely different customs. So do you think they can blend in somebody who's not from Wano can go in and people will be like, oh yeah, you're one of us. Like, how can he blend in so well?
If it's anybody that can do it, it's the revolutionaries.
That's true.
They're like the CP0.
I was just about to ask that. Who do you think is better at infiltrating, CP0 or revolutionaries?
Well, since people seem to recognize CP0 members automatically, I would definitely say, but
they didn't recognize that. Nobody recognized that.
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because the revolutionaries seem to be in every little nook and cranny throughout the world. They always seem to be like one or two members here and there, kind of going under the radar.
Yeah, I talked about this on my last live stream, but I just want to hear your point on it. I already know it, but I want everybody else to know. How do you feel about Sabo's bounty? Because you talking about the infiltration reminded me of Sabo's bounty, so especially with the revolutionaries. So what do you think about that?
Sabo's bounty is spot on. I don't think it should be any less, and I don't think it should be any more. I wouldn't be surprised if it was more, but especially that would also yeah, we would also need to hear about some kind of feats, like other than just being second in the Revolutionary Army. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a huge deal, being second in the Revolutionary Army next to Dragon, considering he's probably got the highest bounty because he directly opposes the world government.
And his knowledge.
Yeah.
I think it's more than that. It could be his knowledge, could be, I feel like for a fact this is knowledge, but it could be his strength though, also. Because you can't just be knowledgeable about everything. You gotta have the power to back it up.
I would have to agree with you on that. I think he's definitely smarter than, say, most of the Yonko. Yeah. Because he's going to go about, he's like somebody like Kaido really wouldn't be able to oppose the world government because all he's just going to do is just keep running in head first to get defeated. Maybe they can't kill him, but that's true. He's just going to get stopped every single time because he can't really gather that kind of following, and his moves are extremely obvious. Shanks knew about him going to tackle Whitebeard. The world government knew about it. If Kaido does something, it's just out there for everybody to know. He doesn't even care. He telegraphs and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm about to go do this. Come stop me if you can." Yeah, it's just not. But, he might be the strongest, but he's definitely the dumbest.
What, dumber than Big Mom?
Big Mom has people that can help her with that. I don't think Kaido does.
He probably has people that's just like Jack.
I mean, he has like Jack. Like he does the same exact thing.
People say that Jack might not. Well, you don't necessarily have to be the strongest to be his right hand man, but
not necessarily. But in the story of One Piece, it's pretty much a given that the right hand man is the second strongest or equal to the captain.
Even in One Piece, it's been shown that the captain is always the strongest, with the exception of maybe, but definitely Buggy and maybe Eustace Kid. Killer, I think he could be stronger than Kid. Could be.
Maybe.
See, and another thing is, I hate using stronger, but I mean, he might be able to defeat Kid because I feel like it's more about matchups than it is about strength. Because
Styles do tend to make it at the higher levels.
Styles and also, especially with what's his name, Akainu and Ace. It's shown with that. If it was just anybody else's rating, a punch, you probably just hit him in his back. Like when Blackbeard hit him, he was like, "Oh, that almost broke my neck." It could have been something like that. If Blackbeard had the magma fruit, then it probably could have went straight through him.
Yeah, the fruit superiority definitely worked.
It's like Pokemon.
Yeah, he is critical hit. Super effective. Oh man. I shouldn't be laughing about Ace dying. I feel bad about it
now. I've seen the Ace die some of the times. It's nice. It's sad, but
every time it gets me, I was like, oh, I just feel for him. That was definitely the most emotional moment.
Crying and like my worthless wife, and he hated being Roger's son.
Yeah,
all of that stuff is just crazy. But how Akainu played it, he was a master strategist because he tricked Squardo. He concocted the plan. The only reason it messed up was because of Little Oris Jr.
Kind of off topic, but how do you think is Squardo going to come back, or
he has to?
Are we going to see like some kind of redemption for Squardo, or is that it? He came in just to stab Whitebeard and I think never get seen again.
Since he stabbed Whitebeard, he's going to come back, sacrifice himself for either Marco or Luffy, and he's going to either die or get critically injured. Like a bond.
I do hope he gets some redemption because it was. I don't. He obviously cared for Whitebeard, and that was rough because he got tricked.
Only doing it because it was Ace, but Whitebeard was like, any one of y'all was up there, I would be doing the same work. But like another thing about Squardo is he's covering his the spider tattoo or whatever. Like I wonder why he's covering it like that. What do you think?
Again, I feel like This is exactly what Nekamamushi in the code.
But the thing is, with Oda, is like he just does
rampant speculation.
He makes you speculate. You know, he keeps up with the theories and everything and reviews. He watches it. Him and his editors watch them from time to time.
It's like George R. Martin. Jesus, like gonna change it just because somebody gets it right. That's messed up.
Switch it up. Like, oh, you thought like how Elbap is based on Norse mythologies. And like, oh, you thought it was gonna be like this. And switch it up.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we're not gonna be watching this. So we can't
no, definitely not watching. If you watch this one, what's up, Oda?
Yeah, for real. It's like you got no time.
Right? We just type something in and I just magically, this channel magically appeared. That'd be, what if you plugged it too? Yeah, hey guys.
Plugged it too. Oh God.
Sensei, that's
the best. That's the best theorist right there. Kentama Sensei.
This dude be talking straight facts.
Oh man. Off subject of Kaido though. Let's talk about the current. Let's talk about Big Mom.
Yeah.
The current threat. The
878.
878. How does that go down?
What's happening? Pedro blew himself up. I thought Pedro was gonna die. I was like, okay, Pedro's gonna die. He has to die. If he doesn't die, it just decreases the value of deaths in One Piece. But I saw this one theory, and they just pointed out so many things about Pedro joining the crew. I'm just like, man, like that could be true. Like the one chapter when they had and the cover page was, I think, 11 cats. It was 11 cats on there, and everyone had a personality to Striat crew, so that's 9. So there's 2 more, and they were like, one of them was Pedro because he's covering. The cat was its let me see, left eye was being covered. I think that's the one Pedro gouged out.
Yeah, I do think at this point Pedro is a better candidate than Carrot for sure.
Carrot is better solely because she's female. We need to increase that ratio. At least now it would be what?
The belief in the Straw Hats is there. Pedro is there.
But it needs to be, I mean, that's true. The belief is there, but sometimes you don't need that belief. Sometimes you need, kind of like how Robin came in. She's like, I'm just riding with them for a little bit and then go on my way because I'm not trying to cause anybody trouble. But not exactly like that, but how Carrot would just come in, be like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and just learn to love the crew.
I don't know. My vote goes with only Jinbei. I think only Jinbei joins this time.
I think it'll be 2 people to join.
That
either Carrot or Pedro. One of them will join. But like how Joy was talking, he set it up. Pedro set it up for Carrot to join because where is Carrot gonna go? What are they gonna do? Go back to Zoe? Like, here you go, Carrot. You go home. She's gonna go to Wano with him. She has to. There's nothing else she can do.
Yeah, you probably got a point there.
She has to at least
why bring this character along this whole time? At least Pedro had like a background story and stuff with Big Mom. But like, Carrot really didn't have anything other than she wants to be helping the Straw Hats.
No, she just wanted to go on an adventure. She never saw the ocean.
Well, that too. There's a reasoning for continuing on to go with them, I guess.
She wants to go on an adventure.
I just like Pedro better. Is that bad?
Pedro is cooler, but Carrot is cool. It's a
jaguar with a sword, and he looks like a 3 Musketeer. How can that not be?
He is a 3 Musketeer.
Yeah, he's like the coolest dude ever.
But Carrot also, when she has to pass on, you move so fast, I can't even stop it. You gotta think about how fast Luffy moves. This dude dodged a point blank explosion in base form. So for her to,
he also wasn't expecting it. If he was like ready for
it. I mean, I would think his haki is always. I think all that.
No, definitely not. Luffy is not always prepared.
He's like, that's another reason why he's like.
Yeah, Luffy can and will get caught off guard.
Yeah, okay.
But
Zoro is always.
Maybe not. Zoro is definitely always on. Even when he's sleeping, that dude seems to be wrecking people, just waking up.
Yeah.
But no, Luffy's just as carefree, trusting until you piss him off, and
until you cross him.
Yeah, don't do that.
But so yeah, how do you feel about the cake? Sanji baking the cake and the easy bake oven. How do you feel about that?
The easy bake oven, yeah.
Easy bake oven.
It's about time Sanji does something. I've been saying it for a while. I've been hating on Sanji.
Let me stop you right there, because this dude right here is a Sanji hater. Let me go ahead and show you why you're wrong. So when Luffy was running around as Lucy in the Coliseum, Sanji called him and was like, "Hey, can I get permission to attack Big Mom's ship?" How is that not something like this dude attacked the Yonko's ship? Didn't even know if she was on there or not. Just said, "Let's go."
I think that Oda has not been giving Sanji a fair shake. Because he came in as one of the monster trio, and he's been that way throughout the series. But it really feels like since the New World, he's dropped off or has been reduced to like hyping up an enemy. Like he was used to hype up Virgo, he was used to hype up Doflamingo. He clashed with both of them and seemingly was losing. But I think that was only because we're supposed to already know Sanji's super strong, and this is just goes to show you how much stronger the enemy is. And I didn't really think it was fair.
Another thing I think it is he showed Sanji's shin, I think, breaking, cracking, fracturing for a reason. He did it to show he doesn't have an endoskeleton. To show that he's nothing like his siblings also. Because some people like, oh, he might not have any powers now, but he might grow an exoskeleton like how his siblings do. I think he's just trying to humanize him. And after this arc, I think Sanji's going to come back up.
I would say after this arc, I think by the end of this arc, we're all going to be praising Sanji, but it's going to be
in the beginning.
Like he needs to hurry up and do it because there's not much time.
People say he doesn't come up with plans anymore, but he came up with a plan to attack the ship when he was like, okay, Brook, you go freeze the cannonballs, and Chopper, you catch it inside of using Caesar Clown as a bag, and then throw it up there, and I jump up there, kick it, and attack the ship.
Yeah, but it's nothing like we first saw in Alabasta with Mr. Prince messing with Crocodile and playing head games with the enemy.
That's a warlord versus a Yonko. So you can't compare the two.
I don't know. Hey, this is the Pirate King's crew we're talking about.
Yeah, it was the Pirate King's crew when Kuma attacked the two, and they got washed.
Good point. Yeah.
You can't just say it's the Pirate King's crew. They go take some L's, man. You gotta take some L's to get better. You have to. There's no way you can just win. It's not One Punch Man. All we do is win right now.
Oh man, that would be nice to do a discussion on One Punch Man. I could talk about that forever too.
Well, all right. Next stream we could do.
Maybe something with that.
Man. Yeah,
that would be kind of neat.
Yeah, that'd be straight. But back to One Piece.
Yes, definitely.
All right. So what else you think will happen in the chapter? Sanji Bacon and Kate. Do you think Oven is gonna help him because his name is Oven?
Yeah, I think plenty of people are gonna help him. But I really was wanting to talk more about like the current 878 implications from 877, like how Luffy just witnessed Pedro sacrificing himself to stop Perospero.
Yeah.
So I think in one of his videos, Joy Boy brought up the interesting thing that Luffy has only ever seen like Ace die before in front of him, and to like stop him from attacking the Admiral Akainu, like he mentally broke. That's how Oda got around having Luffy face Akainu way too early.
Luffy would have died if he had to face Akainu, not because he's weaker than him, but because remember, the reason why he was even on the ground is because he lost all of his power.
Yeah,
he was tired. He was fatigued.
Yeah, he was done.
And if he, we've already seen that Luffy, no matter how angry he is, like he was against Doflamingo, he ran out of haki, which is different than actual fatigue. But he ran out of haki. He couldn't do anything for 10 minutes. So I don't think he really could have done much anyway to even make.
I don't know. I think there are certain things that make Luffy go off more than others, and that's just an anime trope. If you hurt somebody's friends, it's shonen trope. Yeah. Like versus Blackbeard. When Blackbeard mentioned that he was the one that put Ace and Impel down.
True.
Luffy hit him so hard, not just blew him away.
That's true.
And then immediately after, what was that guy's name? What was it called? What they kept calling the Guardians or?
The Zones.
Yeah, the Zone Guardians and Impel down. What was it called exactly? There's so much of One Piece is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, he took him out solo when it took multiple people to take him out before in one shot.
But that's the thing, like just like Big Mom.
I feel like we're getting off track here because we're going to be talking about this. And the point I wanted to make was
all right,
that,
go your point. I now have a new point to talk about.
If Luffy sees Pedro go out, he's just gonna flip out. They're not going to be able to stop him from attacking Big Mom anymore.
But one more thing is he also saw Bon Clay, though. He assumed he was dead because he was trapped with Magellan. Would you not think that he would be like, okay, like?
But there was Ace. There was Ace to save.
Yeah, but you think he doesn't think about Bon Clay anymore? He's just like, oh, forget it. I think he still thinks.
He definitely thinks about it, yeah. But
he thinks that he's dead.
But he's not the type of person who goes out of his way for revenge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He still has his crew that he has to save. He still has other things. He knows his priorities. But in his mind, taking out Big Mom would probably just solve everything. And so when he gets angry, let's face it, he doesn't exactly think about the consequences of his actions at all.
Yeah.
He puts it in extremely simplistic terms because he's for all intents and purposes, extremely simple character.
Yeah. Meat and just meat.
yeah, that's it. It's food.
But one thing I want to talk about also was anger in One Piece. Because whenever people get angry, they just get a massive power up. A lot of times, like when he fought Crocodile, he was angry. He got angry and he went above his limits to beat Crocodile. Because before, Crocodile was watching him, like wiping the floor with him every time they fought. It wasn't even like close.
I don't think that everybody gets a power up.
All right, well, kings, conquerors, haki users.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because let's think about it. It's where's Conqueror's haki come from? Will. How much more determination are you going to have while you're angry and focused on something versus like, oh well, I could
just fight.
Yeah, this is okay, I guess.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like Luffy, a bunch of the people he was fighting did not have that determination to beat him until it was too late. Luffy's determination was like so much higher than theirs. They're like, when it got to that point, they're like, oh man, I might lose. So it's already too late.
Which is what really makes this next chapter super interesting. Because how does Katakuri deal with it? He's probably the only powerful enemy who is 100% right from the get-go never underestimated Luffy.
True. That's very true. That is very true. And that's what's going to start happening now. People are not going to underestimate Luffy anymore. I think Doflamingo was the last person to underestimate or Cracker.
No, I think Kaido's dumb enough to underestimate Luffy.
I think he is. If you have a body that can fall 10K meters.
Yeah, hard to not be overconfident.
And say, oh, my head hurts a little.
Hard to not be overconfident.
I would be overconfident too.
Invincible, pretty much, or seemingly.
Would you even, wouldn't you be just like Kaido? Nothing could hurt you? Wouldn't you just ride into anything? Like, just do it up against all the Yonkos?
No.
Went up against the world government by himself?
Because you could still be in prison.
Yeah, he was.
He was in prison. Yeah. Like,
eventually not a double.
Eventually, you're going to get caught and not get away.
I mean, his crew will always break him out.
I don't think so. Jack couldn't break Doflamingo out, so.
Because they're at sea. All they have to do is
how much more powerful has the Marines gotten post
All they have to do is destroy the boat, though.
Yeah, true.
Because they're on the boat, just stay at a distance and just destroy the boat and you good.
Yeah, like I said, I still feel like we get too far off topic. I mean, we're talking about Big Mom and now we're back to Kaido. You can tell the hype is real with Wano. We are always talking about Kaido.
It's always ready for
the next big thing. Yeah, because it's the first Yonko that goes down. I think we could both agree that Big Mom's not going down.
I totally agree.
Because that's not even the current plan. The current
plan might go down.
If Luffy beats Big Mom, what is Sanji going to do? Just show up with a cake and look all mad, like, oh, well, there goes my year.
My year.
My year. The year of Sanji ruined by Luffy. Spotlight taken.
Like, hey, I baked the cake, and she's going to be like halfway awake. She's going to give her a piece, and then she's going to be like, I knew it. I told y'all I knocked her out.
Oh, man. Poor Sanji, man. I just feel like it's his own arc, and he still didn't get.
He's the damsel in distress.
I know. What? No. The Monster Trio is not supposed to be a damsel in distress. I mean, I don't even like it when they do that to Nami time and time after. I'm glad she's getting, at least in this arc, she's been badass.
She's been OP.
For real.
She is the weakest, has been the weakest for a long time. And now she's going to be another person that they have to be like, let me check them out. They can just go in and fight somebody with with disregard for other human life.
It makes me think of something else. Speaking of Nami and what she's done this arc with Zeus, how do you feel about Prometheus and Zeus being from different spirits? Like Zeus being from Big Mom's soul, but Prometheus is still actually part of Mother. Was it Mother Carmel? I think it's Carmel, but I'm just gonna call it Caramel.
I thought that was Pandora.
Pandora.
Yeah. When Mother Carmel made it, she named it Pandora.
You don't think Big Mom can change the name now that she has the fruit?
I mean, but she died though. When all the powers be gone.
Maybe not.
Her soul is gone.
Think of how many all these. We've never seen that. We've seen other people. We haven't seen anybody else die and the homies disappear. Where do you think like King Bomb and all these other people? Do you think they're still around? Like, how long do you think King Bomb has been living? How many years did she take from somebody to just make King Bomb? We don't know. It
we
could
didn't
be.
Know she could put multiple souls, like 1 month, like she said, 1 month from everybody. She could take 12 people, put their soul together, and that's a year, and then just throw it in. That'd be multiple personalities.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's going to be a case, but I do think Zeus has a personality that's very much like Big Mom when she was younger, and even now, because again, like you said, she's kind of a simpleton.
She had a gotten just
but
like
Prometheus. Yeah, but Prometheus chastised Zeus.
But
which doesn't really seem like a Big Mom trait. Like Big Mom would just be.
It does, because she chastised the bear for fighting the bear and the wolf, wasn't it? The bear killed the wolf or something like that, and then she slapped the bear and killed it. That's what Big Mom was as a kid. She always she tried to stop people from fighting, tried to fix the long arm guy.
If that scenario was the same, like Prometheus would have tried to attack Zeus, be like, stop it. No, he just tried to reason. Calmly reason.
Yeah. But what if Prometheus had Nami put out a food that Prometheus likes? He'd probably be different. He'd probably be acting the same way.
Maybe.
Because it wasn't his food.
Maybe. I hope it happens just so we can
People
see.
Would hate that.
People would hate that.
They
were like, no, this doesn't even make any sense. They were mad enough with Zeus.
Right?
Everybody hates for the weak trio to come out doing something. Oh, man, I've been loving it though lately because Usopp done badass stuff down in Rosa and then Nami here in Whole Cake Island.
It's like everybody's getting their.
We just need a Chopper moment now. That's it. Where's his moment?
Chopper when he saved the meats.
I don't know.
He's a doctor
he gave a giant elephant a band-aid. It's not like.
He also saved him from the poison.
I guess, but I was like talking more combat-wise, like immediate threats, not like, oh, they've been like this for days. What's another 2 minutes?
Yeah, but you got to remember that most of the people on strikes are not fighters first.
I think all of them have shown to be really good fighters.
I'm not saying that they're not good fighters, but they're not fighters first.
Yeah, but before, when Chopper was first introduced, he was like extremely powerful. We all thought. Like, we didn't think he definitely wasn't weak like Usopp. He definitely wasn't weak like Nami. We didn't think he was like better than the Monster Trio, but he was definitely somebody that could protect the others. Push come to shove.
I think power-wise, like raw power brute force, he was the strongest Frankie. Or in that realm.
Kind of seems like he's been relegated back with Usopp and Nami. And now that it kind of seems like the other two have actually passed him.
Especially his monster point is like kind of like lost its
allure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it's that much anymore.
Yeah, because I remember the hype I had when Kuma was knocking him out to different islands, and then he used Monster Point, and then he was big. I was like, okay, let's see Monster Chopper versus Kuma Beast, who just swapped him away.
Got stomped. Yeah, poor Chopper has been. I don't know. I just don't think every Straw Hat has had their big this is the new world and this is the new me moment.
I think Chopper's was when he had different points and he could do it without eating the rubber bands. That could have been
Whatever happened to Brain Point?
That's what I've been wondering, man. That's what I have been wondering. That's a really good.
That was the most interesting one.
That's a really good point. Well, that's a really good point because there's a lot of things in One Piece that you see once and then
gone. Yeah, never again.
Yeah. Because a lot of the moves Luffy uses, like Gumma Gumma no Storm or stuff, something like that.
My favorite. Surprise everybody, including himself. Oh, water Luffy. He's a Luffy. Yes, definitely. Hands down, the best.
He's got so much better as a fighter.
Techniques. Yeah. Man, him and Usopp definitely have probably the best funny chemistry together. Like as far as like battle and just kind of like it seems like they're like brothers in arms as Luffy and Zoro. But
I think that they're all Luffy, Zoro, and I'll add Sanji to that because like they know each other. It's like sometimes Sanji is like Zoro, hey, I need you to, like when they're fighting oars and Sanji like I guess shot Sanji towards oars and he went and kicked his leg to knock him down. Remember that?
Yeah, isn't it kind of neat how like each of the Straw Hats have their own like individual relationship with each one of the others? Like some have stronger bonds than others, and the bonds are totally different. Like you can say that Luffy and Usopp's relationship completely different.
Usopp and Chopper.
Oh yeah, those three, the goofy, the goofy ones. And Chopper just because he's so gullible.
Especially when Frankie does something cool. But the day
oh yeah.
They're like,
I like how they always pan to Nami and Robin and then just deadpan.
Right.
Not
even in the Caesar Clowns arc when he was when they saw Frankie and all the boys was like, oh, that's cool. And then they showed Nami, Robin, and all the girls, and even Tashigi was like, come on, guys.
Yeah, this is never do that docking.
Man, but when Sanji got Nami's body, bro, that was the best, man. He was like just looking, I was like, man.
Frankie and Chopper's body.
Yeah. And Robin was like, if you keep talking like that, I'm gonna kill you.
So, but back to this next chapter.
Yeah.
Back to this next chapter.
It always just deviates.
It really does. There's so much to talk about in One Piece.
Yeah. You can just keep going and going and going. Like you have to have a straight path. Somebody like you who just brings it right back.
Yeah, I gotta try to.
I can go up on the tangent.
Keep this on track. So, Pedro.
Yeah.
Is he dead or not?
I'm gonna say I hope he's dead. And that's a sad thing to say that everybody hopes that Pedro's dead. But I hope he's dead because it will just make the story better. I feel like Otis not gonna kill him just to spite everybody. Like y'all thought he was gonna die.
Another hell moment where giant explosion.
Like Roger said, Will of P. Will of P.
I don't think he's dead either. I think somehow he gets his life force back from Big Mom.
But
maybe
you think that would help. I mean, like if you're gonna die, if you're gonna die by some physical thing, it doesn't matter how many lives you get back, how many years you get back in your life. Like if somebody stabs you right now, near your heart, and then you get 100 years on your life, is that gonna matter?
Who knows?
Yeah, you gonna live. What's gonna happen? You just gonna automatically heal up? Nope, you're supposed to die 100 years. Not
this is One Piece, dude. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what would happen.
That's not what would happen. I'm sorry, I just thought about that. What's your eureka moment?
So my eureka moment is like, what if Big Mom's soul fruit works a lot like Sugar's powers? Where if she can get knocked out or defeated, that the life forces return. A lot like, and this has been shown multiple times. Gecko Moria, all the shadows went back to everybody. And what if how she was defeated was the cake?
But
The
you
cake
gotta remember,
blew her away.
one thing you gotta remember that nobody seems to remember is that Big Mom was sleeping when she grabbed Brooke.
Gecko Mori's been sleeping before. Sugar has obviously slept before. There's something
that's
different
true.
about sleeping versus being knocked out in One Piece. It's fundamentally different.
You're right. I guess because they still have.
They haven't explained that at all.
They might have cognitive functions when they're sleeping, but when they're not sleeping, everything is just out. When they're knocked out, everything is
like brain dead. It's just done.
Brain dead. See, the eyes are glassed over.
Yeah, so it's obviously something different between just sleeping.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Because I think hasn't Luffy been shown to be like rubber while sleeping still?
Oh yeah, he's always rubber. Even with the sea stone prism handcuffs on, he's still rubber.
That's so weird.
That is weird. What was weird is him being able to fight in the ocean.
None of that makes sense.
That's more weird than mine.
A lot of it, you just got to be like, yep, well, that's like, One Piece.
I feel like him fighting Horty, he had to have been at a massive disadvantage. He has to have been weakened. Like he has.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Less power, but one thing
I think his hockey's gotten stronger since then, for sure.
Yeah, he made that point earlier, but before, but yeah. But one thing that makes you wonder though is that how he used Red Hawk in the water.
That can only be explained by One Piece. Like, how do you have fire underneath?
Unless it's like purely not a.
That's the only time I think characters should ever be surprised that fire just came out of nowhere is underwater. Like the rest of the series, I'm sorry, like when every time Sanji is used Yabble, his leg caught fire and the enemy was like, whoa, oh my god, fire. But it's like, oh, dude, how many people do that? Like a quarter of all enemies do that shit.
What, fire?
We've seen it so many times. We've seen it with Firefox Kinemon. We've seen it with Sanji. We've seen it with Luffy now. We've seen it.
But Luffy has to use haki to use his fire. Sanji, like Oda said in the SBS, it's because his passionate heart. He has fire in his heart. It's hotter than the fire that's burning on his body. That's why it doesn't hurt him, which kind of doesn't make sense, but you got to go with it.
Yeah, you just got to go with it, man. You just got to go with it. I mean, the whole concept.
The creator said, hey, this dude spins so fast. He uses friction to create fire, but it doesn't hurt him because...
Like Rick told Morty, don't think about it, just go with it.
Yeah, you just got to go with it. But, I mean, it makes sense. That's why I always wondered, if Ace spot Sanji, would he hurt him with his fire?
Yes. Yes. No, it doesn't make him immune to fire. Maybe his own, because that's his own burning passion. But not...
But was his own as a friction? They use it as a friction fire.
It doesn't do that anymore.
Because you can use it with haki now. Which is what I think that those powers are, like those fire powers that Kinemon uses.
Haki related.
It's all haki related. It all has to do with powers of the soul. And it goes back to how, because, what's the name? Mother Carmel used a fireplace. I mean, not fireplace, but a campfire to create Pandora.
I think we could totally just chalk it up to technique. It's just a technique that that unique person developed, just like Electro with the minks. It's just a technique. And I know they explained it by statically exerting the fur.
But that's only two for the minks, though, like I said. But one thing I want to talk about is why do humans rule the world in One Piece?
You don't want to talk about this next chapter, do you?
I do. I do, but it's like the next chapter, he can pan to something totally different. Like 5 minutes ago, this is what was happening, and just like next chapter.
He's got your attention span, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, he's got my attention span. Yeah, exactly. You're talking about one thing, then he just goes totally flips and talks about another. He hasn't done it yet. It's been like one track, really, since after the explosion. But yeah, there's just so many ways he can go.
Okay, how about this? Does Luffy beat Katakuri? Does Katakuri get defeated, or does Big Mom get defeated?
Katakuri, 100%. He has to be the one. If either one of them has a chance to be defeated, then it has to be Katakuri.
I'm with you on it. I definitely think Luffy takes out Katakuri. And I think it's kind of one of those big moments where Katakuri has the superior fruit, supposedly, to him, and Luffy beats him. I need Luffy to beat Katakuri, because
I'd rather Sanji beat him, but I wasn't really a Sanji. I always liked Sanji, but I wasn't a Sanji fanboy until everybody just started hating on him, man.
Okay, so you don't want to go against the grain.
It just makes me embrace that character more every time.
I'm not a Sanji hater. Like I like Sanji, but he just hasn't done as much as he used to, and that's kind of upsetting. I just feel like he's dropped off from that monster trio status almost. Like he's obviously still that strong, and it's been shown that a couple times where him and Luffy faced off with Big Mom, but it just doesn't feel the same. He doesn't have the same feats that Zoro has or Luffy has. It's not even close. But we kind of know that he can do those things, supposedly just from the past, but he hasn't shown any of that in the new world.
I agree. Because I feel like a lot of the people that Zoro fight, like when he was fighting Horty and stuff, and he was like almost beat him, he was like, "Nah, I'm a Luffy for Luffy." Sanji could have done all that stuff too, but it just since he did it and Sanji didn't do it, it just shows more to him.
What was that one guy, Fisherman Island, the giant fisherman?
Yeah. Massive
dude. Yeah.
That became part of the Jinbei's crew.
Yeah, he did kick him into the air and whatnot, but I think part of the reason why people just kind of like that feed off is because it was wasn't it like half puffer fish or something like that? So it was like mostly air, right?
I mean, not when we've seen people use air and become heavier, i.e. Luffy.
I don't think he was ever shown to become heavier. He was just shown to hit harder.
It has to become heavy because he's.
I don't think anybody's like tried to pick him up and be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're 20 pounds heavier now."
Yeah, but I mean, just because his fist is bigger doesn't. I mean, in my opinion, he has to be.
I totally get what you're saying because there's obviously some science though. Like, okay, just
because he's living rubber. Like people say, like Luffy's skin should get weaker as he gets more air in it, but he's not like a balloon. He's living rubber. So human skin stays about the same no matter how much you stretch it.
Yeah, but you're not adding mass other than just like the mass of the air.
But it's the mass of it becomes like his actual bone actually becomes.
It's still air. Still air. I'll agree with anime logic. Yeah, that's
the only explanation I can think of because just like Gear 4, he blows into his muscles and they get bigger.
No, Gear 4 is totally explained by any video of two people running together with exercise balls. That is exactly what Kong Punch is. Bam.
I mean, but if you think about it, it's like him versus Doflamingo was.
I immediately thought of that
versus strings. Versus strings. Like you would not think strings would be that strong. You would not think rubber would be that strong. You would not think biscuits would be that strong. And crackers.
The biscuit thing definitely felt like an ass pull. Like just
he went far up in there.
Like at least he went far in there. Yeah. At least with Doflamingo's like clone, you could explain it like he's controlling his clone through strings, and not like the string has life and can make decisions and stuff like that. But no, the biscuits. The biscuit's like, what is making the biscuits move? It's biscuit, and it's supposed to be really hard.
Awakening.
So biscuits crumble, dude.
Awakening. It has to be. Cracker has to be awakening music. He has to be. Because I feel like he used to be the same as Mr. 3 with the wax. But if Mr. 3 got wax awakening, he could do the same type of thing using wax figures and probably.
I miss Mr. 3. Is that weird? He was such a cool character.
Watching the Paramount War. Marine for it. He took that one dude's place, and then he helped Luffy free Ace. That man, he redeemed him. So I used to not like him. He used to be annoying to me the whole time.
I always liked him. I always thought he was hilarious.
He was so nice. I always liked Bon Clay, man. When Sanji explained him, I was like,
Bon Clay used to annoy me. And matter of fact, when I first saw him in Impel Down, I was like, God damn it, not this guy again.
I love him, man. He's the MVP. The dude is the MVP. Man. He is truly MVP. But like I said,
by the way, were you trying to keep this discussion like friendly for kids? Because I've been using like profanity and stuff. Or
you can, man. It's your life, man.
Okay, it's your life, man. You do you.
Yeah, you do you. But I don't think any kids will be watching this.
I don't think anybody will be watching this.
We got 2 people watching this, so you're hating on the stream, man.
Hey. Hi, all 2 viewers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank both.
Thank you. Big shout out to our 2 viewers.
But hey, man.
Gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Gotta start somewhere.
That's it. But I don't know. I don't have any more topics, do you?
No, I think that wraps it up for today.
Yeah, I don't know how you saying it's going to for today because you're not the.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be out after this. So I'm gonna be going back.
Oh, for real?
No.
All right. Well, all right, man. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We got 3 people now, but thanks for tuning in. Thomas Sensei. Remember, catch me on Facebook, Twitter. Just got a Discord today. Be positive and be easy, man. See ya.